All right. Hey, team. We are going to continue our production of art assets, or maps specifically, for the upcoming Eberron adventure, Crystals of Mabar, that we've been, boy oh boy, this is like our 75th episode of production so far. This is, well, I think it's inefficient. I've learned a lot in this process so far, and we're just getting started. So, if all the normal spiel: like, subscribe, share. My name's Phil. I build PDFs for D&D content that to date so far I've been publishing on DMsGuild. Specifically, we're working on an Eberron adventure, which is exclusively published for DMsGuild. Otherwise, maybe like as a freebie that I can put out there on Reddit. But the production costs we have going into these pieces, hey, you can see the other work that I've done by clicking on the description down below and going into DMsGuild. There's a link there, and it shows you all the work that I produce. I make available for people to view 100%. You can click on the full preview button or the eye icon on your phone, and it will show you the entire document from cover to cover, the entire thing, so that you can take time to explore the work that I produce. And if you think it's something you might want to use, you're certainly welcome to. I run 1 to 20 campaigns, typically every 260-ish hours. I can get through a 20-level campaign. So the tools that I build are meant to scale from level 1 to 20, because a lot of us creators are just DMs that want to see stuff in more D&D campaigns that we think are cool. So I think running content from level 1 to 20 is cool. So I would encourage doing that. Hold on real quick. I'm going to make sure that I've got my shit straight here, and they're going to get into it. Here. There we go. Got that out. Get that out of the way. Not a big fan of this song, so let's move on to the next one. This is the book cover that we created here on stream, like around episode, I want to say around episode 50. I'm not sure, but today we're continuing our work on the cemetery map. So when we last left off, I was digging holes and cleaning up the cartography of the holes that go with it. As you can see here now, I have completed that process. So the only things that we have left to do on the black-white version of this cemetery map is to fatigue the pillars, age these crypts. Sorry, these are shrines. These are pillar stands, shrines, and a crypt. So and these are gazebos. So we want to age the gazebos. This one's already really aged, and this one's already really aged. So we want to age this one and this one. We want to age out this strip of stuff here, the crypt, the shrines, and the pillars. And then we want to age the outlying ring, the perimeter, the perimeter fence, the stone wall that encircles this whole thing, and then any fatiguing that we want to do to the cobblestones between the wall and the soil proper. So we've got a little bit of work left with us. It's 6:15 here in Seattle. I am back at my job this week, so I've just adored being a full-time content producer again for the holidays. That is my Christmas gift to myself. We'll be doing a full week of stream again in May to celebrate my birth. But for now, I can hear some coffee popping in the background. I'm gonna grab a cup of coffee, and we're gonna start pushing pixels. Just like with the other maps, once this thing's line art is done, laying in the color will go incredibly quickly, and I'm freaking thrilled about that. I'm really excited to have these 3 keystone maps completed for the second act. That only leaves us 1 significant map for the third act, and 1 significant map for the first act. And then we just have a couple different vignette maps that we get to layer in now that we have a common language that we've been developing here for these maps. We can then carry that stuff over to other maps that we're building here inside the adventure. And then we got token asset production. There's a few different type of unique undead and other creatures that we have in here that we want to provide tokens for. Ooh. Coffee's breaking up the phlegm already. All right, so let's get into this. We're going to, I think we're going to refer back to our old original reference, rough document. Rough, and see what additional treasure we can fish out of here. I'm just gonna be sloppy and just do this, and then I'm going to do this, and then do this. Those are my breakout zones, and then the rest of the walls can be fatigued to taste. So that should be the last time I actually need to reference that rough document. That's kind of exciting to be able to drop all this stuff into the trash. But who cares? So we're going to duplicate this layer here for now, hide it, grab this one, merge this one down. Let's topple this stone. What is that at a 4? Perfect. We want to be at a 4 right now with this particular object. Like that. This doesn't stay a 4. This becomes a 3 over here. I'm gonna do this. And the rock starts to transition into a 3. Got to set height here, that's important. Something like I'm gonna go like this to here, block in like that. We can directly knock this over. Feels about right, 8-ish feet. Clear that out of the way. Something like that. Stone. Once we get finished roughing this stuff in, we can clean up the line work and then move on to the next part. Too organic. No, no, no. Better. That's what the cobblestone would naturally end anyway. Like that. Yeah, I got my timer going. Good. Uh-oh. I locked up already. Nice job. We're doing it right. We're locking up. Doobly doop a doop. What's going on with you, Bubble Rock? But that is just too bubbly for me. There. Now, see? Perfectly fine. Nothing to worry about over yonder. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. Don't mind me, guys. I'm just yammering. Just making the talk. Right, so this is a wall that gets knocked down from, like, the inside. Right? The dead rise up. They push over the wall. They walk out. They wander into the forest. They attack the village. The characters hear about it or show up and find everyone dead. And the adventure begins. So this is kind of, like, the best source location for people drifting in from the village 20 miles south of here. I'm wondering what's going on with the undead in the forest. Hey, glad you asked. Get out of here. Ah, and, you know, death ensues. And all the yada yada continues forth. And you know, we have it all paced out here in the adventure. So, here like that, and here like that, and like that, and here, and there, like this. Thin that down a bit. Keep it on its side. Stone after all. Kinda like that. No. I'm pretty happy with that, so let's clean it up. Back after this. Baka baka ba. Fade it down. Give it a 4. Cleave it up. I like where that shape is going. Very simple shapes. Let's just make sure they make sense. That makes sense. Come over here. That makes sense. Create the topography here as we do. Nice. Just like that. Stone, 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 stone work. We're producing here, we're making shapes. That's too sketchy. I'm doing this to get rid of this sketch. Come on, kid. Just like that. That looks better. Get rid of this. Yeah, that looks nice. It does look nice. I'm actually pleased with that. Man, I had a fantastic weekend. I hope you guys did too. Happy New Year. I hope you're making unrealistic resolutions to help push you to the impossible. And for 10% of you, I guess I hope you succeed. Congratulations on sticking to it. My goal is what is my goal? My goal is to be lifting 4 days a week by July 4th. 2 days leg, 2 days upper body. That is, and then have daily cardio. That is my goal for 2023. Have that routine in place by July 4th, and to sustain it for a minimum of 2 years. That is my goal, and we'll see how easy it is for me to incorporate that into this full-time job artist lifestyle. It'll be certainly healthy for me to help break me away from the computer more often, to make sure that I'm getting physical movements in, which just pumping blood and getting it to new parts of the body, and stressing new part. Apparently, scientists indicate that is a good way to keep yourself from having disease. Just simply circulating the system more. And I got to say, my lower legs don't get a lot of circulation because I sit on my ass a lot, and I can't really build a standing workstation because of my visual limitations. So it looks like the fates are trying to get me just to get my ass in motion a little bit more, and I can't really fight them over that. If they want their machine to continue to work, for them to play their games, it has to be maintained occasionally, and thus my resolution. So I don't mind owning that out here. We'll see how it goes. It's also something I don't have to immediately take action on. That's how I stopped smoking back in the late 90s. I typically on a New Year's resolution, like, I want to quit smoking, I won't do it cold turkey that day. I'll set up a distant date that I count down to that becomes my cold turkey day. And July 4th has proven to be a good date in the past. So we're sticking with that for exercise by July 4th. So every day when I remember my resolution, I can envision myself, what is the mentality I will have, what is the steps, like the literal steps of walking out of my home into the gym, to get that to get those steps in onto itself. But then on top of that, the actual physical exercise. What do I envision myself doing? Where is the equipment? Go there just to simply familiarize myself. If I'm going to throw any weight around, I can, but I'm not obligated to. It's a very slow cook approach, but when you're talking about addiction or building new lifestyles, I honestly think it's kind of warranted to not shock your system. It will be a shock to my system when I engage with the new the new lifestyle change, or the new actions that I want to take. But your body and your psychology will have plenty of time to adapt to the idea that you're going to be traumatized. So when it does happen, you're like, oh yeah, I expected this. Aren't I clever for knowing this was going to happen? Because I am clever to know this is going to happen, because I've done it before and I just simply remember. So anyway, that's some hard ramble there for y'all. I'm having a great morning, and I am looking I'm so looking forward to it just feels like Monday, man. It so much feels like Monday, but it's not. It's Tuesday. I'm excited about that. I got a short week. Get to dive back into the weekend again and continue just crushing this cartography. I feel like we are going to, I don't know. I got family time tonight, but I think I'll be able to do some bedtime production. I won't be streaming after this morning, but I will be back on again tomorrow morning, and we will see. What is Wednesday? I think Wednesday. I think we're gonna do some more Spelljammer cartography tomorrow morning, and then we'll hold off on doing more stream for Eberron until Thursday night. So we'll be doing Spelljammer Citadel of Light for the Light of Zaraxis tomorrow morning, and Thursday morning, and possibly Friday morning, and then tomorrow and Thursday, and then after that, tomorrow and Thursday morning will be Spelljammer cartography, and then Thursday night will be Eberron cartography. Like we'll be colorizing this and finishing up this map on Thursday night. Hopefully, I doubt it'll be finished Thursday night, but it'll be in the coloration process, so it's pretty close. And I'm gonna get that out of the way. Thursday night then will be more Eberron cartography, and then Friday morning will be Eberron cartography. That will be color work. And then we'll have Saturday. We'll have a Saturday morning stream, which will probably be more Spelljammer production. And once these maps are done, we'll be back into token production. And I'm just looking forward to that. Just very much looking forward to token production. The cartography's got to get done, but I'm going to have to stop I need to finish up the Citadel of Light here to get that off of my plate, because I've got too much cartography going on right now, and it's risking burnout. So I've officially gotten a warning shot from my muse. Like, you need to mix up your stream a little bit more. There's too much map making going on right now. And so, like, yes, ma'am. She'll let me finish the Citadel of Light, and then for Spelljammer, I have to get back into token production. So once I finish the cartography for the Eberron adventure, and I begin token production for Eberron, then I can get back into diagrams and map production for the Light of Zaraxis again. I gotta keep those mixing up, but in for a penny, in for a pound right now, as far as the Citadel of Light is concerned. It is the most significant, the only really significant map that I have to produce for the Light of Zaraxis conversion. Meanwhile, this Eberron adventure has multiple locations with obviously a lot of detail required in the map to be able to get the dungeon crawls done. It's a big difference between Eberron and Spelljammer, and that the amount of dungeon crawling that's happening, significantly more here in Eberron. So hold on real quick. Let's let that shut down. We'll have to relaunch it. This is just an opportunity for me to have another slurp of coffee. Cheers. Oops, that's pushed out too far. Get rid of these. Grab these and drag them in to here. There, gotta stay within these lines. That is important. But I can get rid of this guy, because he is not. Trying to keep these lines clean, it's hard. I like to be sketchy. I love being sketchy. Good, that's better. Keep these lines clean. God, what slop. What are you doing, Curdy? I can't, I cannot continue to draw at this larger distance. My vision is not acute enough to make sure these lines stay clean, and I'm having to come back through and duplicate the effects. So this is a harsh lesson I'm having to learn, but it's one I should have learned a long time ago, honestly. But this cartography effort is me being a lot more precise with my line art than I normally need to be. This rough format is kind of a feature of my style, not a flaw. So this is a big divergence away from how I feel how crisp my line art normally is. So I think this is an improvement overall in my performance. But it is a change in workflow and perspective, and it's forcing me to zoom in closer than I want to for the amount of pixels I want to push per minute. So pixels per minute, ppm. Is that a thing? Pushing pixels per minute, ppm, triple pm. Sounds weird. I'm gonna not do that. B3. Let's keep this crisp and clean. I don't know if I'm going to finish all the map vignettes that go along, like the small little cartography pieces that go along with this after I finish the large set pieces for each act. I might want to take a break from cartography for a bit while I build those things out. Maybe even seeing like how much space is available on the page to dictate how large those maps can actually be. I'm not positive. I think now that I have a better visual language for how these maps set, things like the Tree of Woe won't be nearly as difficult for me to complete. And I was having a challenge with that little monster quite some time, but I think it's because I didn't have any context much to ground it inside of. It was just you know, we got to build an evil poltergeist-like tree. What's that supposed to be like? We didn't have any language about the environment that it was in, and the just like the textures of the soil and all that stuff we figured out on these maps. That's something that we're going to be able to easily pick up and carry over to the other maps, that like these little maps that we have to make. I keep talking about transferring visual language from one map to the next inside of the same project to maintain that consistency. And this is another case, I think, where that's going to pay off for us, because we'll be able to just use that language just to easily create the scenes that we're building. The line art themselves is pretty simple. I think the payoff will be the investment in the color and the texturing that we've established to be able to carry what those little vignette pieces are. Anyway. Plans within plans, Paul. Yeah, I got all these little fuzzy corners. That is a skill that I can improve, I think. Especially if I'm going for precise work, I think it's worth the actual time of just zooming in closer to make sure that I get the line weight done right the first time. That was a harsh lesson I had to learn for all this map. I had to go back through and redo all of the cobblestone cartography all the line work we've done for the cobblestones, because I had them at a 4 pixel weight instead of 3 pixel weight, and it just felt wrong looking at it because the language wasn't consistent. And it might be a point that only I notice, or maybe you guys have been hanging out with me on stream, you'll notice too, perhaps. But yeah, I need to. It was pretty obvious that like this is a thicker line, and that thicker line is supposed to indicate an obstacle, like cover and things to hide behind, as opposed to the 3 pixel line, which is just defining shapes on the ground. And then 2 pixels is just further detail work, like really small, like these inclines, the embankment, the top and the bottom of the embankment are 3 pixels, but the actual embankment contour lines that are vertical like this, these lines like that. Those are all 2 pixels. So, and if I need any further depth of cartography, I can go to 2 pixels inside of these structures to draft those out. Bob's your uncle. So we're gonna take this like that. Merge down. So let's continue our work here. To transform, tilt, pull, like that. Here, and I'm gonna rough these guys in real quick, and then we'll dive in closer to get the actual lines right. Here. we'll get back to that. Alright, I'm gonna figure out the rest of these shapes. Can't be anything too jagged, but it also can't be anything too smooth. It's fresh destruction, so it's gonna have a crispness to its edges, but it can't be like no real radical. Like even this is a little too edgy. Like it's got to be a little bit more shaved off. Yeah, that's pretty good. So let's drop it up down into opacity. Once we finish this rubble, then we'll be able to go into actually fatiguing the standing pillars and remnants of the stone wall that are there, and we can be just about as. Wait, no, we still have one of these topples to do over the right hand side, over to the left, to the east. We gotta take care of that wall as well, and once that wall is resolved, then we are free and clear. To start just having fun with how the objects stand. The walls, the wall, how the wall in general stands. So, God, words are weird today, dude. Words are weird today. That. Nice. some of this 2 pixel line. That. Oh, God, I love this draft work. It's so fun. Man, this stuff is fun. Where's our clock? How are we sitting? 7 o'clock now? Oh my God, we have another hour? This is amazing. Are you freaking kidding me? All right. I apparently didn't reset my timer. Luckily, it's exactly 7 o'clock. So we've got another hour left. That's 2 more pings before we're in home stretch. God, I love this work. This stuff is so fun. If you've never made a map, make a frickin' map. They are so fun. I mean, I've been making maps for decades for my home table, but most of my stuff is just garbage. Like stick figures and ad hoc squares and stuff. I don't build professional maps for my home game. I don't have time for that stuff. And they would know. I've talked about this before, but I'll go ahead and just mention it again. The more of a production, the higher the production value of your map, the more your team knows if you're not using, like, that's not the right way to put it. If you switch from a high production map to stick figures and shitty squares, your team is immediately going to know that you are improvising. So my personal philosophy with DMing is use the shittiest maps at all times, so that the team never knows if you're just making something up or if you had planned for it for months. It looks the same, so there's no meta game that they're playing in their head. Unless you're the kind of DM that tilts your hand and lets your team know, hey, we're kind of freewheeling it right now. My team loves it when I tip my hand and show that you guys are exploring ideas I don't know the answers to right now. We go through that whole process, which we've talked about before. But yeah, that kind of has to be the style, match to flavor is what I'm trying to say here. I don't know if I'm saying it successfully or not, but it is my effort here to express. I think that's good like that. Yeah, there's no wrong way to DM, and I just think that's really fun to be able to control that experience, whether they know. Like if you're freewheeling or if you're improvising or if it was planned. I think it's great if you're capable of keeping your team guessing one or the other. So, like information, answers about a campaign, I'll tell them if I don't know. If I think it's to the advantage of them having fun. That is, I'm not required to tell them when I'm off, like when I'm making up answers on the fly with them because they've asked me questions or not. But the kind of campaign culture that I have for myself is the team likes to know that they've caught me. So when I think the team needs a morale boost, I can tell them they've caught me off guard, and I'm going to have to find out the answers. So give me a minute. That makes them feel that's like a very low cost victory for the morale of the team. And So you can lie about that anytime you want. You can, but you always want to lie in favor of the players. So like, you don't want to lie and say, "Oh no, I planned that the whole time," when you didn't, because there's going to be a more ad hoc feel to it unless you're incredibly good at improvisation. Normally, it's best to tell them that you don't know what the answer to this stuff is, and then, like, if you know the answer to something, it's better to lie to them and say, "Hey, I don't really know," and just take the opportunity to flesh out the answer a little bit more than it had been previously, as opposed as opposed to the other way around, because they'll be able to tell from the lack of detail that, no, this is something you're just improvising. But if you tell them that you're improvising and you aren't, then it adds then they'll have a really hard time just guessing anything that the hell is going on with you. Anyway, that's some hard ramble. Sorry about that. Too hard. Ramble is too hard, Kearney. You need to ease back about 20%. Yeah, get rid of those fuzzy edges and add some fatigue here with a 2-pixel brush. Just detail work. God, all these fuzzy edges. Good. Almost there. Stay on target. Neat. Okay, that'll work. These guys are far too fuzzy and 3. That's the size weight I want. It's too sharp of a tip, so that needs to break off a bit. And smooth down a touch. That feels good. Nah, that feels right. This is a rabbit hole I can dive down forever. Fatiguing Stone is a ton of fun. But it is literally something you just, there's no end to. At some point you just got to call it stop. Like you can futz with this stuff for like literally ever. 4, 3. God, it's just so fun. It's just the little details are so fun. Not bad, Kearney. Let's drop this back in. Make sure we're still within bounds. Still well within bounds. Let's go over to this area. Jeez, crow. Let's go to this, and then let's knock this thing down, and that will probably cap us off for the day. Hopefully not. Hopefully we'll be able to continue. I mean, I like I said, I won't be on this. I shan't be on until again tomorrow. What am I, Shakespearean? This language is weird. Anyway, I am, yeah, so I'm back on my normal production cycle for the day job that I have. If you want me to continue streaming 8 hours a day, I would encourage you to follow me on Patreon to help chip in money on me on an ongoing monthly basis to help fuel my disengagement from the corporate world and dive into PDF production as my full-time income. That would be amazing. Honestly, the biggest way you can support me right now towards that endeavor is to like and subscribe, to follow me here on YouTube, so that the Google algorithms can recognize that this endeavor that we are pursuing is something that people appreciate and want to see, so that the algorithms can push us in towards a larger audience, that folks can check out what it is that we got going on here, and get on board this this hype train. So merge down. All right, we gotta knock. Oh boy, we got this one to knock down, and then we can walk away. So let's see how we. Not nearly so much. That feels right, though. That should do. All right, cool. So we can do that, and we can drop this opacity down, like yonder, and we can start screwing up our stonework. Perfect. Let's keep it rolling. We're doing good. We are doing good over here. Almost there. Stay on target. Almost there, he says. Whatever. I've got all this other stuff to do on top of this. It's just I'm super close to being done with like this specific piece. Oh my god, cartography takes a ridiculous amount of time. It's fun though. I keep telling you that. It's fun. It is a labor of ridiculous amounts of love. I'm a fool to be taking on so many projects at the same time, and I just I love the idea of being able just to bear down and crush through a specific project, but at the same time the risk of burning out in that process is so fierce. I kind of want to make sure I keep doing more than one project. Because I can't really afford to stay still, you know, any more than I already have because of the holidays. I gotta keep moving. The only way I can legitimately keep doing that and maintain this tempo is by being able to bounce from product to product to product, so that I can, well, 2 or 3 products at best. The Marshall Powers project, by the way, we had a night stream as opposed to a lunch stream because of some mismanagement of my own timetable on the holiday that we just had. But you can check in the playlist down below and see that we had a fun time converting the Barbarian Ancestral Guardian path of the Ancestral Guardian into the Marshall Powers kit that we had. We were able to find a solution to almost everything that was in the Ancestral Guardian. The word I'm looking for is path features using the Marshall Power system. They weren't as efficient as Marshall Powers, but we were also able to bring a lot of fun stuff to the table that the Ancestral Guardian didn't already have access to. So we were able to duplicate 3 of the 4 subclass features other than Scry. And we specifically neglected Scry because just that type of spell casting isn't where I want to take the core mechanics of Martial Powers. In future pieces, I can do alternate spell cast, like further dive into existing spells and develop powers from those spells to use independently. But that is not the direction I want to take this the Martial Powers core mechanics. So after it publishes, and I can start doing stuff on Patreon and stuff like that to flesh out the list for other people to use, more things with. But we'll see. Nice. Nice. Take that and that. We can drop these things into the trash. Also get tossed in the trash. Complete a piece so far. Oh yeah, this is our original untouched pre-shenanigans. So we have a crisp original map piece, except for this gazebo down here and this gazebo down here. Those are easily fixed. Crisp. We're gonna call this one crisp. And now here's torn down. Okay, we hit save. We look at our clock. It's 7:30, so I have 30 minutes. Let's start disrupting. Tear this thing down. No, it's going to be beer. I think my keyboard is almost shot. I'm having button issues. I need a new mouse. I need a new keyboard. I'm pressing my resize button, and it just doesn't seem to be responding the way it's supposed to today. Yeah, the best way to do this might just be to go through and like just chop up things like that, and then come back through with a 3 pixel brush, and then a 2 pixel brush. So let's try doing it that way. A little upset about this brush, this keyboard being so sketchy now. Alright, just fatigue that, move on. Let's just hit the pillars. God, that stuff just looks good. 4 pixels, good. Oh my God, come on, Kearney. Hit your marks, man. Thank you. With the right pixel size. Thank you, sir. Copy. Oh my God, I gotta grab more copy. BRB. Oh, man. Back like a heart attack. Yeah, it's good to see you, my man. Happy New Year. Arr. 4, 3. We completed everything. Right now we're fatiguing the walls. Once the walls are fatigued, we can use the 3 pixel brush to layer in all this little fatigue mark stuff, and then push it out into the cobblestones between the graves, like this cobblestone walkway between the two. So once we finish out fleshing all this stuff, we can do that, and then like for example, we can get rid of this. And actually, we should probably be more like that, and roughing into this stuff. There, I'm trying to limit myself to just the 4-pixel brush of just fatiguing the actual obstruction structures of this wall and the pedestals. So like that. But like if I have it fatigued all the way down to the grid line, then that means that like all the stone has literally into the ground has worn away, and that's not always the case. It's like I gotta do things like this, and then drop the size of the line width that we're using down to the appropriate size, so that the external, just like with video games. You have a hard line, which actually creates a barrier for bullet strikes in line of sight. And then everything else that's inside of those borders is just flavor text. Like this 3-pixel line is just flavor text to this 4-pixel line that's actually feeding the boundaries of this wall space here. So when I drop down to a lower opacity, it's just contour. So, but the actual space that I can stand behind this, and you won't see me on this side because it's an actual obstruction. So that's just a level development, as it were. Level design, I guess, is the proper term. But this is hundreds of years old, which isn't that difficult for stone to weather. But it certainly takes the crispness off the edge of the edge of structures. So I can afford to fatigue these corners a little bit, while leaving some corners intact. I don't have to, over and over again do the same thing. I can pick 2 to 4 corners to fatigue for each one of these pedestals. Still leave the general shape intact. Kind of like that, and then it just goes back into the same routine we have of fatiguing stuff in general. So not too difficult. It's the same it's the same language that we use over and over and over again in this particular mapping process that we've been going through. So it's easy for us to be able to. It's easy for us to see how things. How stuff is supposed to flow is what I'm trying to say. While things are absolutely not flowing over here. Okay, cool. And then I'm supposed to just be hitting these pillars. There's not a lot of imagination I can feel here. So it gets kind of old quick, which is why I think I keep varying into the interior space with the 3 pixels, because I just want to move on to the next step. But if I gotta do everything right. It's got to be done correctly. Oh my God, what was I thinking? What a train wreck over here. God, these shapes make me cringe. Do you see that? I had a visceral response to seeing just how sketch this giant pillar really is. Like, oh. That was legitimately funny. Oh, God, that line art is bad. That's just silliness. We'll fix. This is 4 pixels. That's right. He's incredible. That was funny. Oh man. Too much fun. Yeah, I'm back to my day job. My vacation is technically over. Again, we stream from like 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Seattle time, and then I log off, and then I work from home, so I can just log on to my day job production and get back to work. But boy, I really enjoyed how my life has evolved. and what society is allowing it to evolve into. It's legitimately fun. I am incredibly blessed to have the arrangement that I have, but I mean, I guess if I'm going to have a disadvantage, if I'm going to get an advantage for being disadvantaged, having a more convenient work cycle is certainly a huge freaking perk. So I am very thankful. God, Jesus, so bad. Get rid of all that garbage. I like that line though, so I want to keep it like that. It just looks good. Beep 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 boom. Yeah. Well, I was talking about this earlier. What it ends up being is me sitting on my ass for like 12, 14 hours a day, which is ridiculous. So my New Year's resolution is by July 4th for me to be in a perpetual habit of exercising, doing legs twice a week, upper body twice a week, and cardio every day. So it's if I ease myself in over time to making a significant change in my life, if I give myself a number of months leading up to it, it's how I stopped smoking. So I should be able to accomplish that. For cardio, I only need a half hour or so a day, and then for the weightlifting, I just need another half hour. So that just means that I'll have something to do from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock here in my world before I get back to my normal production, my normal art. Like I can do my day job, I can transition out of my day job into exercising, and then when I'm done with exercising, I can come back and I can either do family stuff, or if it's a production day, get back into artwork. So I think I can see that lifestyle happening. It's just I have to load it for months for me to be able to like successfully render it into reality without it being rejected by the habits that I already have. Like I can start visualizing the habits to the point where I'm like, why like when I stopped smoking in June, it got to the point, why the hell am I still smoking? This is disgusting. But I was like, I told myself I wasn't going to quit until July 4th. And see, I could have preemptively attempted to quit in June when I was like, bleh, when it was getting gross. But by the time July 4th came around, it was disgusting. And I just like, I was happy to set the cigarettes down. Like, oh my God, thank you. I don't have to do this anymore. Which is a real different, which is really different, I understand, from normal people that attempt to quit smoking. But I was one and done because I did a ridiculous amount of psychological work leading up to it. Once I got there, I'm like, God, I cannot wait to actually execute this plan. I can see why I want to do that, and it made it really easy for me to pull that off. And I've never applied that to exercise. I've always applied, I've always guilted myself into needing to exercise more. And that was able to get me to start losing weight through, just through decent food management. But I need to step that up another notch to be physically active more, to get the blood pumping, to keep the cancer cells circulating out of my body, Sit still too long, I just end up rotting. And I'll have plenty of time to rot when I'm 70. So for now, I'm still able to move my body around. I should really encourage that while I can. And if I say it here, someone's undoubtedly going to call me out on it because I'm going to end up mentioning it fairly frequently moving forward. I apologize to any regulars that you're going to hear me rambling about yet another thing over and over again. Not being fit. So we will build into that. But I think that's how most people's brains work. They tell themselves a story long enough that they believe it, and then they start looking for reasons why they're correct. That's like basic ego, you know. It's like that's what the ego is designed to do. It's like, oh, you believe something about yourself? Let's prove it. Let's kick up that reticular function to pull out the things that are true about you. So if you're very, very thorough in sculpting what that story is, your body, your mind, everything is going to conspire to make sure that you're correct. It's just a matter of what kind of self-talk are we providing to ourselves? What excuses are we giving our greater self to interject into our life and make changes? It's like you have to build those pathways, says I. And there we go. Okay, great. Now we're finally actually getting into the 4-point pixel, like doing what we said we were going to do and fatiguing these stones. Just a little bit of markup. Don't have to fatigue every corner. Don't have to be consistent in how much weathering each stone gets. Just want to make sure that we're continuing down this path of moving, picking off pixels. Just keep picking. I saw Glass Onion over the weekend, and the general feedback I've heard about Glass Onion, I think it's on Netflix, maybe it's Amazon, but the general consensus, like the general feedback about that film is if you liked Knives Out, you're going to love Glass Onion, and if you've seen Knives Out, then you know exactly what I mean. Or rather, if you've seen both of them, you know exactly what I mean. If you've seen Knives Out, it's got that same great whodunit mystery feel. If you haven't seen either one of it, it's a really great whodunit mystery, and it's got great actors in it, and it's funny characters, and it's just it's a well constructed story, and it was super fun just to watch it all go through. And yeah, big fan. Glass Onion, go for it. Super cool. Definitely worth the 2-ish hours I think that it ran for. So however long it was, defo worth. All right, we're almost done with all these pillars. Honestly, I'm looking back. I'm kind of excited about going back to my day job. As much as I love doing cartography and illustration, like I'm looking forward to being a full-time creator at some point in my life before it ends, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get there. I don't mind doing the very slow brew, build the audience, build something stable that can weather changes in social media and changes in the environment so that I'm not personally screwed over about any changes that happen in the world around us, that I build an audience that believes in what I'm doing. I think that's, for the first time in my life, I'm not attempting a quick, like, succeed fast strategy on this at all. And I think that's going to end up serving myself and the community that I build. I think it's going to end up serving us in spades. I don't want slapdashery anymore. I want something built. I want things built right and durable. And again, integrity. Gotta have freaking integrity. Gotta be able to stand behind the stuff that I'm doing on stream and the stuff that I say online. if I'm throwing shade, I got to be able to own that shade is thrown, and if there's any blowback from that, then just accept it and hit save as just the proper path of evolution for me. So it's I'm hoping that 2023 just continues to stack on integrity for me, that I'm producing the results that I say I'm going to produce, and that I'm not overhyping things, that I'm actually, you know, yeah, that my shit's legit, you know. Anyway, so I can come in here and I can fatigue out the stones a little bit. I don't have to be too abusive with it. I just wanna have enough language in that each one of these blocks that we come in with, each one of these pages, I want there to be enough interesting features that each page unto itself is an interesting environment. It's like, this is interesting, there's stuff going on in each of these. So that's the hopes. That's what we're trying to get to. You can see this is fatigue, so I may as well take advantage of that. It's fun pockmarking this stuff. I'm happy. I'm really happy that I built the whole structure straight, so that we can come in here, we can mess it up, you know? Like that's been very satisfying for me. Plus I have a crisp cemetery that can be served up as an alternate map as part of a map pack in general. Once all the books I've been working on, the Eberron adventure, all the command books, martial powers, once all those books are out, I can start blending in together. Like I can make a cemetery map scenario, but we could like build squads with it. So like you're going in with a small team to try to action RPG this place out with a small World of Warcraft crew of gatekeeper orcs that are fighting undead and Karnathi soldiers, so that this becomes a 4X combat resource management sort of map scenario. And then we can have another scenario. It's already partially built to be there's social combat and exploration pillars of adventure as defined by D&D. And as it stands currently, this leans most heavily towards combat and exploration. Though if the DM wants to drop a patrol through the front door over here and your team is in proximity, then you could potentially conquer this map region as social encounter by convincing the soldiers to either lead you to somebody with more authority, or to jump on board and be a part of your squad to take out undead in here, which would lead you back into combat, of course. But the point is that you can lead yourself away from this place as a social encounter if you wish, to then find yourself at the top, like at the top side entrance, or the flooded the flooded ruins map. Which is kind of cheating by getting out of the map. But it just depends on which tools the DM wants. So once all these different books that I've been building get released, that build these structures. Oh shit! I only got 5 minutes left. Thanks for the warning. Yeah, once I get to that place, with all the books released, I can take any of these maps that we're building and we can remix what the encounters and the scenarios are to use the different tools that we're building out, like the squad mechanics for in command squads and armies, for example, like I just mentioned. That's probably the most important case in point here. Yeah, it'll be fun taking adventures and then peeling the different maps in the adventures out to use for different reasons, and this will be a fun holiday map for like Halloween, for instance, to build like a little runabout. Because you can just run about this place and tear it up. looking for, like, if you're going to Scooby-Doo it, we can like make alternate map points and change the creatures that are inside of the shrines and the actual crypt itself. And like we can hide items in different places here, so it could be a scavenger hunt to like assemble a MacGuffin to then save the world or whatever. Like we could put the ritual in here specifically. You have to be able to fight your way through, and like your characters start over here or something, or like a random place in the map. It's like, hey, go figure this place out, and don't give them any clues. Let them figure it out. I don't know. Ideas. It's just it's fun being able to see how assets can be used in different ways, and to build them specifically with that idea in mind, which is what we're here in the process of doing. Take that to here. Take that. Built wrong. It needs to go like this. That. Nice. Fun, fun, fun. Fun, 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 fun. Let's do it like that. God, this keyboard is just not responding. There's something I'm misclicking somehow, because this thing is just not responding to my my brush resizes. My S key, I think, is just burning out. Maybe I need to clean it. Maybe I need to peel up the buttons and clean them off at lunchtime today. That might be what I need to do. Made our way around there. Now we need to continue fatiguing this a bit. Wrong pixel size. Chunks out of the wall. My plan is when we come back tomorrow morning, and tomorrow is going to be Wednesday. So yeah, the plan is to continue Spelljammer cartography tomorrow, to finish up the color for Light of Zaraxis in the morning. And then Thursday morning, we'll be working hopefully on the top side of the Zaraxis structure. Hit save. It feels like save's important right now. Yeah, so tomorrow and Thursday morning we'll be working on Spelljammer cartography to keep pushing along the light the Citadel of Light, to get the coloration done there. And then Thursday night, which is a production night, we'll be back here in Eberron. I think by Thursday night, I'll have enough downtime off screen to finish all of the wall fatigue and the cobblestone fatigue. I'll hopefully have the shrines and the pillars and the gazebos also fatigued, and then again also the crypt itself fatigued. So all the line art will be done. So when we're back on Thursday evening, we will be specifically working on color. So hey, look at that! It's 8 o'clock. It's time for me to bounce. So that is where we're going to leave it. I am thrilled to be back in my normal cycle of production. I am looking forward to being back with y'all in 22 hours. Like and subscribe. Check out my previous screens. What I need right now is I need subscribers. I'm at 118, which is great. I've been picking up momentum with folks in the past month. I really appreciate that. I need 1,000 followers, and I need 4,000 hours of content viewed, and I'm at about 800 hours of content right now. So I'm 20% of the way to being monetized through hours watched, and I'm about 10% of the way to monetization through number of subscribers. So like, subscribe, follow, catch me on Twitter, check out my books down at the DMsGuild link down below. They're all 100% preview, cover to cover. I want you to just see what we're providing for you before you purchase it. That seems the most honorable thing to do. Anzi, thanks for showing up. Anyone else that's new to the stream, hey, looking forward to talking with you guys again tomorrow. And I'm out. So thanks a lot.